with our next game. So see you guys in just a minute or so.
What I want you to want, what I want you to feel. But it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, I'm watching you, turn your back like you always do. Face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't take this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. I am what you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you, turn your back like you always do. Face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
It's showtime.
Okay.
Okay guys, welcome back. You are watching the STPL. My name is Kix. I'm your host and
Your host, your haster.
your host, caster, and organizer of the STPL, and I'm here with my good friend and fellow co-caster, Rapid.
That's right. And coming up, we should have probably the best game of the series by far. It is just going to be super sick. So I'm not going to spoil it. I'll let Kix introduce the players.
Yep, to introduce them, I'm going to need to do all the replays quickly though. So if you can quickly join the game, we can get that started.
Oh, that one thing I'm really bad at doing. It's okay. I finished downloading it. No, I didn't. Okay, fast screen internet kicked in. So yeah, here we go.
Okay, so we've had a few one-sided games so far. I mean, we're only an hour and a bit into the cast and we've been through 4 games already. So I know it's been a bit one-sided today, sometimes you do have that, but there are still 3 possible games left in this series. Now, obviously the 5th game is an ace match, so we won't see that if we do see eOnzErG or the... I just spoiled the game. If we see the next 2 players losing...
Correct.
But, you know what, hopefully we're going to see an ace match here. It'll be a very exciting comeback if we do. It's not very often that you see White go up 2-0 and lose the series. So NaS have got their work cut out for them. It's a very large hill to climb. But is the player for NaS here, who I just accidentally said who it was, is he going to be able to pull it off? The only way we're going to be able to find that out is by introducing the players themselves and then getting into the game. So I'm going to quickly set that up, quickly move on over to the overlay, and let's introduce who our players are going to be. And here we go, let's move on over, let's have a look. So for NaS, I did just mention it, it's the new pickup for NaS, the other non-North American player in the North American squad. It's going to be eOnzErG. Now, eOnzErG doing an incredible job recently. He's training very hard to go to Korea himself, following the footsteps of Cadenzi and the likes of Gur and Elky.
And Slayer.
Was Slayer foreign? I didn't even realize.
Slayer is the most recent player to win an offline Korean tournament.
Wait, wouldn't that be Cadenzi now? Because of the team
that
league.
tournament was partially online, not entirely offline. If you want to do a technicality.
Okay.
But yeah, technically, if you want to count just pure offline, that was Slayer. But if you want to mix it up, then that would be Cadenzi, sure.
Okay, now eOnzErG did win his first game of the STPL. He didn't play in round 1. Like me and him have got this weird little troll relationship going on, so he'll always like rag on me. I rag on him a bit, and he was like, I'm never going to play in the STPL ever. And like, IFU weren't going to play because they weren't active enough anymore. And then he got picked up by NaS. So here he is. I'm casting his games again. He was one of the players, along with Radley, who actually played in the original STPL. So that was in 2015, when everyone was still playing under the aliases of Pro Gamer. And like, my whole overlay existed purely so I could hide who they were and everything. But the STPL's evolved a bit since then. We're now 12 or 13 weeks in, and eOnzErG now is back again, and he is going to be up against one of the best players from round one, one of the best non-pro players on white in general. It's going to be the Terra himself. It's going to be Famas2 or Famas2. I still don't know which one it is. But he did go...
It's guaranteed Famas2. Like, there's no way that would be 2.
Yeah, it's like Harangi, isn't it? But...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to call him Famas2 from now, because I've always been calling him Famas2 or Famas. I guess Famas is easier. But he did go 7 for 1 in round 1. The only player who had, I believe, a better record than him was Kogut, who went 8 for 2 in round 1. So, Famas...
8 for 2 is a worse record than 7 for 1.
Well, I guess it is. You get 1 extra loss. That's a good point. Okay, so Famas had the best win-loss ratio, but obviously Kogut had more wins. He played more games though, so that's why. But he did win his first game as well in round 2. So both of them on their second game, both of them very strong players, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do as they move on to Return of the King here. A 4-player map, mineral-only bases in the top of all the mains, bottom of the bottom mains if you want to be pedantic. But it should be a very, very interesting series here. Let's have a look at the game. Let's move on over and let's get started with our third game between NaS and White. And starting us off here in the top right-hand position, we do have the orange Terran. It's going to be Famas.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, playing as the what is this? Light brown
Peach.
Zerg?
It's got to be Peach, surely.
Okay, we'll call it Peach. The fleshy, pulpy, human skin-colored Zerg player. This is eOnzErG, playing for NaS, of course.
It is, and I can't remember what color it was, but Sham2 had like a color and he couldn't figure out what it was. It wasn't teal or seafoam green, it was like some other color. He was trying to work it out with Zombie Grub, but I'm almost certain this is peach or cream. Like, it has to be one of them.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, maybe we're all just colorblind, I don't know.
Entirely possible.
Now, are we going to see Famas make the same mistake Terra did and go for a blind 14 CC?
Who is the one player that Famas lost against last season?
You know what? I'm going to have to go and check that because I can't remember.
I was trying to check the stats and I couldn't see him losing a game, so maybe I just missed that.
I don't know. You know what? Just because it's a bit of a lull in the game, there's not too much for me to observe. I'm going to be moving the camera around and stuff.
Yeah,
still.
I'll let you know if anything weird happens, young Kex. Currently, still waiting on a barracks to be built, but that's not going to be across the map, so that's not going to be a proxy. There are over 9 drones, and so I believe it is a 12 hatch from eOnzErG. Yeah, so not going to be anything crazy happening there. This is just going to be kind of economic openings on both sides. Famas going for 14 CC.
Oh, he is going 14 CC now. This is a little bit of a surprising decision against eOnzErG. Now, I guess you could say that Famas doesn't necessarily know who Eon is. I mean, Eon, he's a big name in the foreign community, but not necessarily in the Korean community, so not too sure there. Now, I'm also looking at these stats, and I cannot actually figure out where Famas' loss came from, so you know what, I think my stats are wrong. I think he went 8 for 0, which is even more insane. We do finally have that barracks coming up for Famas here, and eOnzErG adding his spawning pool as well.
Yeah, so very economic openings for both players. I don't know how to judge which one is more economic. I guess if I had to, I don't know. Those are both pretty good. And this time we get a chance to see kind of the opposite of the first game, where one player went 14 CC and got hard punished for it, and died instantly. This is going to be the version where you get a greedy economic advantage and don't pay for it. So there's no justice in this game at all.
Yep, this is the one opportunity that Terran has to start with a greedy opening as the Zerg player does over the 12 hatch. Just straight 14cc, going to be perfectly uncounterable now. But Eon has started to add on a good number of lings already. And Eon is certainly the player who has been known to say that he does want to win fast. So he could go for a very quick counter here.
Yeah, wow, actually that's nothing but lings morphing from that natural hatchery. So a lot of times Zerg players will build like catch-up lings, which is not as opposed to mustard lings, but like the lings that are designed to sort of slingshot you back from taking an overly economic start. And that's like a really simplistic way of thinking about it. But this is actually just a hatchery made solely to build tons and tons of Zerglings from. They're going to have speed, and they are going to absolutely be able to run right by this bunker at the front, which also, by the way, only has 3 Marines in it. So it'll have a 4th by the time the Zerglings get there, but it's not a tight wall by any means. So a great job here by Famas2, who is blocked off the ramp with 3 SCVs. He will need to pull more if he wants to hold that. But this should be good enough to hold for now. The only problem is there's this little mini game where you dance your Zerglings around the parts of the mineral line where these Zerglings don't, where the bunker doesn't cover.
Well, there's a vulture
but actually,
there.
excellent. Yeah, now that the vulture's out, this shouldn't actually be very easy unless he loses the vulture to getting it surrounded. He's actually click repairing the vulture.
Oh my god!
Stops it, loses the vulture, and now it's wave number 2. He does have some SCVs blocking so that this is a little bit like a tower defense game, and the repair on the bunker comes through. This is excellent defense by Famas2, but he moves the SCVs who are blocking the ramp, and so the Zerglings get into the main.
Yeah, the Zerglings are in the main. There's going to be a vulture coming out that's going to spawn in front of the Zerglings. Going to get away just.
The vulture, that's huge.
That is, but the Zerglings are back on top of the vulture. This could be an insane amount of damage coming in from eOnzErG.
Yeah, but he's doing Korean vulture micro. He actually does lose the vulture, but he has 2 factories out. So realistically, this is not going to be very successful. It's going to be annoying, right? This is a ton of lost mining time. And he is sniping off maybe 4 or 5 SCVs at this point. So this is good damage from eOnzErG, but the counterattack is going to be pretty rough. But the Hydras are actually halfway across the map. I didn't actually realize that they were so far there. And they're already morphing lurkers, so or the lurker upgrade is almost finished. So they should be able to get across there. So phase 2 is coming out here. Famas2 held on, but now he needs to scout the Hydras and the fact that they're going to be morphing into lurkers, and I think he's going to do just that, just barely.
Yeah, the thing is, the vultures may be good against slings, but they're not that good against Hydra. As you saw there, it takes about 5 shots from a vulture to kill a single Hydralisk, and you can just morph them into lurkers to get their health back, but still, the vultures are still not stopping here. They're going to be waiting for their mine upgrade. No, they're not. He's actually going immediately into tank Goliath with the siege upgrade now. He knows he has to hold this. He's building a bit of SimCity at the front by his bunker, but does he even have any detection yet? He's only now just getting his engineering bay, and he has no scanner.
Yeah, he has no academy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he went for armory instead. Well, that's not great.
Yeah, this is going to be bad.
So he has 2 turrets building, but they're both in the main. There's one coming up on the high ground, or 2 coming up on the high ground. So the lurkers are going to be able to kill everything on the low ground. But I mean, Terran buildings can lift, right? So he can lift the barracks, lift the command center, and that means he'll be able to hold on this high ground. So this is not actually that bad, but still really rough.
This is a very nice push.
And oh no, if he loses all these SCVs, the lurkers, like, that's the tragedy. But yeah, I think this is too much damage.
Yeah, there we go. GG.
Damn,
Eon.
My man.
Eon with the reverse bop. Like, we've had bops.
I don't want to call that a cheese. We can call that dedicated aggression, but damn, Famas did sexy moves to try to hold on, but he lost a couple of vultures early on, and I mean, that's just really well executed build order by eOnzErG. Wow, that was really sick.
Yeah, that was like I know a lot of.
What is this armory supposed to be doing here, Kick?
So the armory is so you can defend against muteless later on, because if
is it though?
It is, because like basically he's going for the build order. I think he was actually going for the 5 factory Goliath push, because he didn't add a He basically didn't add a machine shop for ages. Obviously, he needed the vultures out quicker, but
Right,
still,
right.
like, he tried to panic make tanks, but siege mode doesn't finish very quickly. He did scout the Hydralisks very, very late. He saw them when they were right outside of his base, pretty much.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Famas2, that just didn't work out. That was a really nicely executed all-in by eOnzErG there.
Yeah, and it definitely was all in.
Yeah.
He had one drone mining in his natural for basically the whole game. Then he went up to a whopping 3 drones. So he's just not making a whole lot of money there. It was just all for aggressive units, and he did a super good job. So wow, that was actually really sick. It wasn't a long series, so we didn't get to see these like battle of gigantic macro players or anything like that. But we talked about how Famas2 might have even had an undefeated season last time, going 8-0, and so for eOnzErG to take him out here, by far one of White's best players, if you're not counting their like
Yep.
S-class pro players. Um, he's done insanely well in STPL. So eOnzErG, that's a big win to put NaS on the map.
Yep, and obviously that now leaves them with one more game, one more chance to take it to game 5. And I'll introduce the players as soon as we get back from the intro, but I've hosted up the replay. Let's get in the game and